Hello there. Have you fallen into an open manhole recently? Do you find yourself in the company of strangers? Well, then you might very well be in the feature underground. My name is Hunter Linear, and once again I am here to deliver you a review of an upcoming movie. This time, the highly anticipated return of David Fincher. The movie is, of course, The Killer, which will be coming out this Friday, October, whatever, in limited release, and then will come out on Netflix at some point soon after. Um, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I think this movie is pretty bad, pretty bad. Um, and when I say bad, I don't mean it in the sense of there's a boom mic in the frame, someone's looking straight at the camera as I look away. Um, let's just get into it. First things first. I think the movie is just visually ugly. Now, I'm not a cinematographer, so I don't quite have the language that could elucidate my point to the extent that I would like to. All I can say is that the movie has kind of a digital look to it. It almost looks like it was filmed on an iPhone at times. There are a few shots that look like they're at a higher frame rate than other shots. So I don't quite know what it is, but the movie just doesn't look right. It looks ugly. You know, David Fincher, none of his movies you would classify as beautiful in the traditional sense of that word, but they all have a very premeditated look. They all have a very specific style, visual style, even if they're grimy and washed out. It's going for a look. This movie, I don't feel like it even has a look. Now, the movie utilizes voiceover extensively. I'm not of the mindset that voiceover is an inherently lazy technique. In fact, I think a voiceover, like anything else, if it's done well, then it can be a great asset to a movie. The problem with The Killer is that it's not done well. The writing is just not good. It doesn't have a sense of style to it. It's not especially funny when it's trying to be funny. It's not interesting when it's trying to be interesting. There's just not a lot there. And that leads me to my next point, which is the characters. Now, you spend almost the entire movie with Michael Fassbender's character. I don't think the movie ever cuts to someone else. You're with him the whole time. And yet, the characterization is really shallow. And the only attempt the movie really makes at giving his character any kind of intrigue or depth is through the voiceover, which, as I have already said, is not good. And the other problem is that the movie is very action heavy. Now, when I say action, I don't mean punch, kick, shoot, ladder. I mean the characters are always doing something. So someone's walking over here, someone's getting in a car, someone's putting together a gun, someone's eating dinner. Characters are constantly doing things. But there aren't any character moments. The movie never stops to give us a character moment. So you just end up feeling like a bystander in the movie. The movie never pulls you in. The movie never draws you into its world. Now, before I saw the movie, I had heard people compare it to La Samurai. And I can report back to you that these comparisons are purely superficial. Both movies are about an assassin who works alone, and that's about it. It doesn't have any of that movie's atmosphere. It doesn't draw you in. It doesn't have any of that quiet swagger to it. It feels this is something that pervades the entire movie, is that there's no sense of innovation or passion or excitement behind it. It feels like a perfunctory, like almost like I'm in this contract and I need to make a movie and release it so I can get out of it. It almost has like an old studio system, director for hire feeling about it. Like, hey, we just bought the rights to this book. David Fincher, come in, direct it for us, and then you can leave. It has that kind of afterthought nature to it. Now, the one thing about the movie that I think is really well done is actually the opening. Now, I'm not talking about the very beginning, which is the opening credits, because the opening credits look like they're from a PS2 game from 2005. They look ridiculous and awful. Once the movie actually begins, the opening the opening is a specific sequence. It's almost like a prologue, and you can tell, unlike the rest of the movie, which feels very very perfunctory and going through the motions, the opening of the movie actually feels like there's an idea behind it, and someone was like, "Hey, I have this cool idea for an opening. Let's see if we can do it. I've never seen it done before," and the opening does work in that way. In fact, it has a very Rear Window aspect to it, some voyeurism that is interesting. So I do like the opening of the movie. Then the rest of the movie has no sense of innovation. I don't get the sense that there's any passion behind the movie. There's nothing exciting about it. There's no interesting ideas. All of it feels like it's been done before. And I mean, I don't know what else to say. I think the movie has been getting good reviews from what I've seen, and I don't quite know what people are looking at. Like I said, the movie isn't, it's not The Room. It's not Troll 2. It's just a bland, forgettable movie. I think it's actually going to fit in pretty well on Netflix. It's going to be something that people are going to throw on and not really pay attention to, and the movie is probably best enjoyed in that fashion, unfortunately. And now that you've heard my thoughts, leave a comment down below with your thoughts on my thoughts. And then once you see the movie, come back, tell me what you thought about the movie, because maybe you can convince me I'm wrong. Maybe there's some perspective on the movie that will change my mind. I certainly want to have my mind changed. I want to like the movie. I want to like every movie. Go ahead and, if you liked what I had to say, or if you liked the way I said it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. We are going to have many more videos like this one up. We'll have The Holdovers. That one for sure is coming. The embargo lifts, I believe, November 6th on that one, so I'll have that video up then. And then I think Napoleon for sure I'm going to have one. Poor Things. And then we'll see what else. Let us know. Feature Underground is on all the social medias. You can go find us there. Just type in Feature Underground into your handy-dandy Google search bar, and you'll find us. We'll be there somewhere. And then all the links are in the description as well. As always, I would like to remind everyone before you leave that every day underground is a good day.